Over the weekend, Netflix dropped its new show Stranger Things, and it is setting the world on fire. I'm Jeff Hicks of World Class Bullshitters here with Nick Udom, and we're going to talk about it.
Your friendly neighborhood Samoan.
What's a neighborhood like in Samoa?
Have you ever seen like a demilitarized zone in North Korea?
Yeah, I used to live there.
It's kind of like that.
Oh, okay, so very comfortable for me then.
Yeah. I mean, it's you're always running around trying not to get shot, but you can get guns real cheap. So it's a good area. I mean, if you grow up right, you got the right skill set, you're fine. You're okay.
What are your skill sets?
Basically how to hide in the bushes and like put mud over my body and not be seen. How to kill somebody with my thumb. How to tie how to tie knots and make sure that nobody can move. How to drain somebody's blood without actually killing, actually making a lot of holes. So the important things.
So you're Rambo essentially.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I wish I would have grown up like that. You know who I wish I wouldn't have grown up like? 11 from this show. That poor little girl, man. I felt really bad for it. First off, let's talk about what Stranger Things is. It's a television series created by the Duffer Brothers, directed by the Duffer Brothers. It's set in 1980s Indiana, which I didn't realize until I saw a license plate. And it's about a young boy who vanishes and a telekinetic girl who appears to help people find the missing boy. How did you find out about the show, Nick? Were you aware of it to the build-up or what?
Well, I mean, I was. I kept seeing, like anybody else, I was watching Netflix, and as Netflix does, they put their stuff, as soon as you open the app on anything, your Roku, your Xbox, whatever, they have their new, original thing coming up. It's like, oh, July 15th. This is happening. This is happening. So I was just like, oh, okay, cool. And I looked at the poster, and I was like, the poster's pretty awesome. I kind of dig that. So, and they kept playing the trailer. They would play the trailer, and I'd watch a few seconds of it, and like, oh, okay, that's good. And I think it happened Sunday. Like, apparently everybody did the exact same thing Sunday. Was they got on their couch, they got their coffee, they got their blanket, and they watched Stranger Things, and they all freaked out about how good it was.
It was a very good show.
It's one of those rare instances, in a world where we have remakes and reboots and Hollywood trying to just shove its dick down our throats. We have this pure thing that has happened, and we must enjoy it and embrace it and not make it shitty.
Well, if they do a second season, I'm afraid it will be shitty.
Well, I mean, okay, let's talk about that a little bit, because what would you want for a second season? Do you want them to continue the story or start with a whole new area in the same time frame?
It would have to be a new story because, in my opinion, the story ended. 11 is now, I guess, in that other realm. Maybe Will still has that creature in him, with that flashback in the basement or the kitchen, or bathroom at the end. Any room of the house, really. I don't even want anything. Sometimes a nice, concise story is all you need, and I think Stranger Things does that perfectly. Anything else is just cashing in, and it'll feel cheap.
Yeah, I agree. I think they should do a second season, but different kids, different scenario. Different in the same. I mean, have the same guys direct it and write it, obviously, but just slightly different.
I gotta say though, when you brought up the kids, these kids were really good actors. I mean, normally I hate children actors, but every one of these kids conveyed emotions realistically, and they were more complex than the adults.
Well, I mean, it's that whole kind of Goonies thing where it's like the adults are just there as guardians and the fence kind of thing. It's like oh, don't do that, you'll get you'll skin your knee if you do this, and that's what they were. They were just okay. The kids were the main characters in the whole story, and I'm glad they were, because I mean, I always like that, and I always think of Goonies when that happens. It made me so fucking happy when I saw just the kids and on their bikes, and you had that kind of E.T. moment with the van and everything. I was like, this is so good.
Yeah, this was very Goonies-esque. That's all I thought the whole time. Now, see, I've never seen E.T., but I know when they're on the bike and they take off or whatever. And I even thought of E.T. when they dressed the girl up in the dress and put the wig on her.
Yeah,
because didn't they do that to E.T.?
They did.
It all felt similar, but see, that's where I'm fine with reusing old ideas, taking old ideas and putting them together in a different order and creating something new. I wouldn't have had trouble with Star Wars Episode 7 had they taken ideas from Episode 4 and integrated them into a new movie instead of just taking all the episode or ideas from episode 4 and integrating them into one movie.
Well, see, here's how Star Trek, the new Star Trek is on the same wavelength. It's like, well, we wanted to redo it, but here's a creative way of doing it. We incorporated the first stuff, but we have this timeline that happened, and time travel and things, and that's how everything kind of got screwed up, and we have a new thing, and that's the way you should do it. And they're still, they still had Leonard Nimoy in part 2. And that was their chain to the original stuff, and that's why it's good.
Well, there's many reasons why the new Star Trek is good, and I think that's a good analogy. And back to Stranger Things, it made the tone was something you've known before, but maybe the story wasn't necessarily something you've seen before. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And I mean, you got like, if you're a nerd like us, you got a lot of vibes like X-Files. Like things like that. Maybe a little bit of what is it? I think it's Beyond the Pines or something. It's another show these guys did that it kind of reminded me of that as well. And I mean, it was like even the music. The music wasn't 80s. It was kind of like 80s synth pop.
I loved that
still,
song.
but like still, as soon as you heard it, like you knew what era they were trying to take you back to, and it did. As soon as you heard it, you knew where you were.
That theme song always played at the end of the episode, and you're like, "Oh shit, something big can happen," and then a new episode starts. Yeah,
and I mean, and that's one thing I loved is that, and another thing I loved is that it was short. It was 8 episodes. It was 8 episodes. It wasn't 20 or 24. It was 8 solid episodes of good TV.
All killer, no filler.
Yeah, it was no filler, and I wish, and I mean that's kind of how it's done in the UK. And I wish Americans would take that aspect. Yeah, I know you have to have 20 episodes because of blah, 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 blah. But why? Like, why do you have to have filler? Why do you have to have shitty episodes? Why can't you just have good episodes? Between 6 and 12 episodes for a season, I think is enough. Like, you shouldn't have more than that.
I agree. I don't watch I don't watch any network television.
I used to. I don't anymore.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is 10 episodes a season.
And that's perfect.
I mean, in that case, I want more just because I'm selfish, but there's a whole back catalog of, I don't know, 80 other episodes, and they're all fucking phenomenal, so...
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even with Archer, I think is the same thing. It's like 10 or 12 episodes a season, so...
Yeah, Archer... The thing about Archer is it needs to be short because it only has so many jokes.
That's true.
It's really, if you boil down Archer, Archer's inept, but still is a great spy. Lana's bitchy but sweet. The mom's a terrible mom. Krieger's crazy. Pam's a whore. What's her face? Judy Greer's character is psycho, and Cyril is a bitch. I mean, that's it, and that's every episode. And there's only so many things you can do with it. So Archer's creative team knows if I go more, I'm gonna really, there's gonna be a lot of fatigue in a season.
Of course, definitely.
One thing this show did that not a lot of shows do in general, and movies used to, is the pre-title sequence.
Oh,
before the credits would roll.
Oh, and one thing I loved, it kind of reminded me of Tarantino, the chapters.
Yeah.
They kept doing the chapter count. It'd have a weird name to it, but the name would come up, in the episode.
And back to the thing I was talking about, the pre-title sequences, one of them was 9 minutes long. Because
I think it was one of the last episodes.
I didn't realize it was still I was like, man, that was a long opening. How long was that? And I paused it and said 9:45 or something.
Yeah. And one thing I noticed is that I remember watching, I think it was one of the shorter episodes, and I was halfway through it, and I was like, has it been 45 minutes already? And I checked it, and I'm like halfway through it. It's been 15. I was like, geez, you just want to stay in there. You want to explore the universe, this universe of this show, and just keep yourself in it. It's great.
I was trying to draw when I was watching it, but I didn't get much drawing because I was so drawn into the show.
Exactly. You wouldn't get anything done. Even I started it and I was like, I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna go get anything to eat or snack or anything. I'm gonna go pee, get some water, and come back, and I'm gonna keep watching this.
Winona Ryder was really good. It almost makes me sad that she doesn't have more work.
Yeah, I mean, she really was good. I personally kind of found her kind of irritating in some episodes where she's continuously doing her thing, and it's like, yeah, I mean, I get her character, her son is missing, and she's very distraught about it, but it just kind of got a little too much of her almost.
I liked her for what, I mean, I think she did a good job. I know she had a shtick going, but she actually made it believable. It wasn't.
She did. She did. No, she did. She
It
did.
wasn't like Harrison Ford in that one movie, "Where's My Family?" Where it was just like hokey as fuck. It was like Winona Ryder. You could see that there was baggage there from her previous marriage, and she was a single mom struggling to make ends meet, and her kids were her world, and then her one kid's older and kind of off fucking around, and the one good kid went missing. So I liked her. I really liked that fucking cop.
Oh, dude, no, I love how he is like the typical small, like big city, small town cop. Immediately, show him like drinking, like immediately.
He was a badass dude. I was
He's
concerned.
badass. No, I got no problems with that. But I mean, like they immediately show him the way he's like Brody from Jaws, like immediately just like that.
I was concerned he was gonna die.
Yeah, me too. I was concerned like the government was going to shoot him in the head and like throw him in a ditch or something like that. I was constantly concerned for his well-being.
We're bitching about having a second season. I think what would have been a good cliffhanger would have been, remember when he got into that car with that Secret Service guy?
Yeah.
Never show the sheriff again.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been an amazing cliffhanger, because then you're thinking it's like, well, is he part of the system? Does he have a job there now? Like, what is he doing?
And the little kids could have taken the food out to L. And that would have been just as effective.
Yeah, but then then you're giving them hope and giving them a reason to like come back to it, and they might break her out again or some crap like that. So it's just like that whole whole thing. But I mean, the way I liked it the way it ended. He's getting food and putting it in a box, for her essentially. I liked it the way it ended. It was good. I mean, yeah, I do agree with you. Maybe Winona Ryder's character should have been the one to go take the food out to her. And the cop should have, and the sheriff should have been gone.
I could see that.
Yeah, like that to me would have been a little bit more, on that level, because then you would have had this whole like mother thing going on, and that would have worked.
Speaking of mothers, that little kid, what was his name, Mike, and the one that had the sister, the main little boy that was out looking.
Yeah. Yeah.
His mom was okay. She was kind of hot, but that's just me being me.
The dad was just kind of like, whatever.
The dad was my least favorite character in anything. I just call him 80s dad.
He is.
He's got the shitty glasses, the shitty sweater, and he's just there.
I love when he's like, it's somebody's like, it's our government, honey, we should trust them. I'm like, really, dude?
Thank you, 80s dad. I will listen to you. I will get a sensible job, and I will never achieve my dreams. Oh, 80s dad, how I love you.
I mean, I understand, it's like he's not that good of a character, but I love him because he's that character. He is just he's exactly what he should be and no more.
He reminds me of the dad from 21 Jump Street.
Okay.
The movie, not the show. I've never watched the show.
Okay.
I wasn't born when the show was on. I don't know. I'm gonna look up the name of the actor because it might be the same actor.
Oh God! Oh Jesus! That would be hilarious.
He reminds me of this actor. Oh Jeff, it is the same actor. Oh okay, thanks. I'm right. No, but he just didn't bring anything to the table. You could have almost written him out.
Yeah, he could have phone called every day and been like, "Honey, I'm working late," like all the time, and that would have been fun. Like just see him once in the first episode and then like never see him again.
Yeah, well, they kept him around and he didn't add shit, so.
It's fine. I mean, he never got in the way of anything or didn't say anything that was like all of a sudden like the guy from the corner is like saying something important. Like it was never that thing. He did exactly what he was supposed to do, and the character was exactly what it was, and it wasn't bad. So.
It is him.
Is it really? Holy
yeah. I'm looking at him still.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
First off, I didn't realize he was an Ant-Man. Secondly...
But hold on, was he a dad in Ant-Man as well? Is there like a theme here?
His name is Frank in Ant-Man.
Okay.
I don't know who Frank was, even though I just reviewed Ant-Man, which you can check out on our channel, by the way. Hear my thoughts a year later. But no, if you scroll up, it says Stranger Things, Ted Wheeler.
God.
So, fuck me, it's right. It's him. One thing I will say about the show, since we've been praising it endlessly, there was one flaw / error. I guess it's an anachronistic thing. You remember that Millennium Falcon the girl was making fly?
Yeah.
That was a newer model Millennium Falcon from the year 2004.
Oh, okay.
I hate to be that guy. All the boxes for the from the freezer were accurate, I suppose. The shit on TV was accurate. The music. But I saw that toy and I went, that was from 2004, not 1982. And it just bothered the shit out of me.
I love that so fucking much.
I eventually let it go. In the back of my mind, I'm going, come on, guys. That's why they need to hire me. You know what? Hollywood, hire me as the Star Wars toy consultant. If you need to put Star Wars toys in your movie, you hire me, and I will tell you if it's accurate.
No. Just ask you, just hire you as like period piece, like continuity guy.
I would love that.
Yeah, just like if anything happens in the 80s and you'd be like, nope, that's not what that don't happen. That didn't happen on this date in the 80s that you're trying to shoot. This is not right.
1990.
Yeah, it's like.
That was it though, man. That was the one big thing that bothered me on an otherwise amazing show. And Dad being a fucking 80s dad.
80s dad. Oh god. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, I mean he you know he didn't bring anything to the table, which is fine. I mean his character was just to be the other parent. Like they were trying to show the stable families between Mike and Will, and they needed him to be there to be like the nuclear family. So that's what it was. Yeah,
not Dwayne Johnson. Back to the little kids though. I liked the relationship all three of them had because we really never saw. We saw Will in the beginning and the end.
Yeah,
so it was mainly Mike, Dustin, and Eddie Murphy Jr. I don't know.
Eddie Murphy Jr.
He looked like Eddie Murphy to me.
Oh my god. I
was so worried that little kid was gonna get killed when they split up.
Yeah, same here, man. I was just like, don't kill the black kid. Please don't kill the black kid.
Because I liked all three of them. I didn't want to see any of them go, and I thought he was gonna be the one to die because he went off in a huff. And normally in real life and movies, if you go off pissed off somewhere, you're not thinking clearly, you get captured or killed or have an accident or something happens.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's yeah, that's how it always happens. And yeah, that's what I was worried about too. I was like, oh come on. I was even worried about when 11 like fucking force pushed him against the stuff in the junkyard. I was worried about that. I was like, oh get up, oh come on, get up.
I was worried the kid was dead too. I was like, fuck, don't.
There were like I gotta be honest, like there were some points where I almost like cried as well. Like I was just like, holy shit, and I was just like, this is a good show because I'm almost crying.
Now I'll admit I wasn't that invested, but
I was really invested.
I felt sympathy for 11.
Oh, same here too, man. That was heart wrenching when that whole thing happened.
Like I said, that kid did a really, really good job.
Yeah, she did. She did amazing. The creature, jeez, man.
That thing was creepy looking, and the effects weren't perfect, but they were really good.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give you that. They weren't perfect, but I mean, I also love how they didn't really show the full monster until about the end.
What did you think of? This is going off the monster because they captured it. What did you think of the three older main kids? The brother of Will, the girl, and her douchey boyfriend.
I mean, I liked them, and they played their whole like older teenage kid thing. Like I'm fearless and I'm never gonna die kind of thing. They played that really well. I do love the sister and then like Will's brother teaming up and making the house, that whole thing, and like the whole like cutting your hands open to get blood. I mean to spread the blood around at the same time was cool. And they had a whole like fucking Home Alone thing going on, like a Mad Max Home Alone thing going on, and I loved it.
It definitely had that 80s slasher vibe. What's the one? Oh, God. With Peter Vincent. Oh, Fright Night. It just reminded me of Fright Night in a way. Obviously it's not about vampires, but that kind of tone. It wasn't dead serious like a Halloween movie, but it wasn't light and funny like an Evil Dead 2.
Yeah, it was in the middle. It grazed that line, and that's really good that it did that.
I was kind of happy, kind of sad that Will's brother did not end up with her.
Yeah, I was kind of sad about that too, and I was like, oh, that kind of sucked. And that to me also didn't make sense because they went through some like emotional crazy shit, and the other guy just didn't. Dude's brother was missing, and the sister, her brother was helping try to find him, and they were all lost and trying to get, they were getting chased by G-men and everything. Like it was really intense, and they were both dealing with it on every side, and somehow they didn't end up because of just trauma, I guess. I mean, that's weird. Like that should have been their thing.
And the other guy let the freckled friend call her a whore and embarrass her, and
Yeah, it's like, really, dude, come on.
I'm surprised they got together, but I guess it makes sense because I don't know. He's the first guy she ever slept with. He's got money. I don't know.
Yeah, it might be the whole sex thing. Yeah, that might be that. Yeah.
People are strange. That's why the show's called Stranger Things. It's about her.
One thing I like is on Wikipedia, it's categorized as science fiction, supernatural, drama, horror, mystery, thriller. How is it supernatural? I mean, wouldn't it just be science fiction?
Yeah, I suppose so. But according to the genre of supernatural, well, if I click on it instead of science fucking fiction, Wikipedia defines supernatural as a genre of literary or media fiction exploring or requiring plot devices or themes, some contradictions of the commonplace natural world, and materialist assumptions about it. I guess that makes sense.
Okay. I'll take that.
Either way, it was phenomenal. The only thing I didn't like was fucking Matthew Modine. I hate that actor.
Matthew Modine.
He was the bad guy with the white hair.
He always plays that part. He's played that part like for the last 5 or 10 years. It's kind of like,
Yeah, maybe I should take that back. Maybe I don't hate him. I just hate all his roles.
Yeah, I mean, and like the funny thing is like I think in the show there's a guy who's like his right hand man, the kind of bald guy who looks like a big city cop, a big city detective in the suit the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one who should have been the main guy.
Well, he wasn't.
Yeah. But I guess they needed that kind of like, because his name was Papa in the show, they needed him to be that older man, like that have that stature and that power and be, that figurehead for the whole thing.
Hey, real quick, I know this is completely random, but I was searching through the Stranger Things Wikipedia, and it said starring Millie Bobby Brown, and I could have sworn it was going to be the little black kid because Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
It was 11. I mean, yeah, Millie's a girl's name, Mildred, but Bobby Brown is the part that got me.
Holy shit, that's weird.
Yeah. If you Google her, there's some really creepy pictures of her.
I'm okay. I'm fine.
Well, I just had to know, like, who's Bobby Brown? Like, there was Bobby Christina Brown, and now there's Millie Bobby Brown. She's Mini Millie Bobby Brown.
Oh my god.
What else would you like to say about this show?
If you haven't watched it, why are you not watching it? Like, you should, once you're done with this podcast, go watch it immediately now. Or if you've watched it already and you're listening to this podcast, comment and tell us if we missed anything, or, if you want us to talk about it again or anything specific that you liked about it.
Or if you want to tell us we're assholes. We get tons of those comments.
Yeah, go ahead and tell us we're assholes. I mean, we get that all the time. It's fine.
I wouldn't say it's a good thing, but I read them. I sometimes respond.
Yeah.
This show, like you said, the fucking 80s is what drew me in. I was not alive in 1983, neither were you. I wouldn't be born until almost 5 years later from the show taking place. But it's just, I guess since we grew up in a similar time frame, so we're only a couple years apart, but that was the kind of kids media we consumed because, Goonies, Gremlins, shit like that was something.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is very comforting to people of our age, and I don't know if it's going to turn off younger people because, like, walkie-talkies or, cassette tapes or analog terrestrial television.
Or records.
Yeah. I guess that kind of shit isn't for them, but I don't know if that's important or not. I feel like if this can succeed, if the critical praise will equal the amount of success it will get or have, then they should start making more films or TV shows in general that just take place in an older time. That way you can get away with plot contrivances. You don't always have to worry about the cell phone and, stuff like that. Because if you watch any of these slasher movies from back in the day, if anybody or everyone had a cell phone, like, the movie would fucking end. It's like, oh my god, somebody's chasing me. Here I am. Here's my GPS location. Send it to the police. There's 10 dead people. A fucking SWAT team's gonna catch Jason at the end of the fucking movie.
Yeah, and I mean I mean nowadays, yeah, I mean with cell phone service being anywhere and everywhere, I mean it's really difficult to find like the perfect location where like the cell phone doesn't work or the GPS doesn't work or. Well,
do that in my grandma's living room because none of that shit works at her house. So, murderers of the world, if you want to commit a crime and no one will be able to call for help on their cell phone, my grandma's living room. She doesn't even live in the middle of nowhere. She just lives in the suburbs, and nothing fucking works there.
That's hilarious.
It's a little scary and a little annoying, too. Thankfully, they have Wi-Fi, and I know the password, so...
Yay! You can watch porn there.
That would be really bizarre to watch porn at my grandma's house. Don't even joke about that.
I mean, not when she's there, but if you're staying over or whatever, and she's out at church or something like that, you come on out. You have the opportunity.
Grandma, take your time at church. I'm gonna, spank you real quick. Ugh. That would just ruin my life. My life's a little ruined now because I even had that thought.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to put that thought in your head.
And this is the first time you've been on the channel since our 1,000 new subscribers joined, so they're going to hear me get flabbergasted by this crazy Samoan son of a bitch.
That's true. Oh, God.
We still love you here on World Class Bullshitters.
I know you guys do, and I try to come on. It's just that sometimes, work always gets in the way, it seems like.
Yeah, but you have a cool job. You're editing a fucking movie.
I'm also editing a fucking movie.
It's not just like something, oh, I work at a quarry and I'm tired and I want to have a beer and watch The Big Bang Theory and go to bed.
Oh, God. First of all, not the beer, whiskey, and not The Big Bang Theory. More like Scrubs or Psych, like reruns of that. I'll watch that forever.
But The Quarry's okay? You'll work.
The Quarry's fine. I have no problem with The Quarry. That's fine for me. It's just the whole, like, a liquor instead of beer, and then, like, Psych or Scrubs or some, like, buddy comedy show besides Big Bang Theory, because I fucking hate that show.
I tried to drink straight whiskey when I was in Michigan the other week. I couldn't do it.
That's why you gotta put ice in it, man. You can't do it straight. You gotta.
We did put a lot of ice in it.
Okay.
My friend took a red Solo cup, filled it half with ice, half with whiskey. I let it melt. I still couldn't do it.
I mean,
I did drink Everclear though, so my man card is still fully intact.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
And tequila, and fucking gallons of beer. I didn't puke. Didn't have a hangover. Just woke up, took a big shit, and drove home. But that's the story for another time. This has been our review of Stranger Tales. Yeah, there were some spoilers.
Stranger Things.
We didn't get into anything. Oh, sorry. What did I say? Strange Tales?
Strange Tales, yeah.
Wasn't there a show called Tales from the Dark Side?
Yeah, there is.
And wasn't there a show called Strange Tales?
I don't think so.
I thought it was a Steven Spielberg thing. No, Strange Tales is a comic book. Okay, from Marvel. No wonder. My mind. When I say strange, I go straight to Strange Tales. Fucking love comic books. Not currently because they're garbage, but either way, that's not important. What I meant to say is this has been our review of Stranger Things. It is a phenomenal TV show. Nick and I would both give it high marks. Nick, what are you going to give it?
I'm gonna give it like 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, 2 thumbs up. Like you need to watch it. And because of being so good, I fear for part 2 or season 2 for it now.
I will give it a 9. I'll just lower it 1 point because it is not my favorite Netflix series. Daredevil is. Like I said, I'm a comic book guy, but Daredevil just delivered a much deeper story. I mean, yeah, Stranger Things had a lot going on, but the characters in Daredevil were way more developed. Because realistically, we may know a little bit about Will's home life and, what was his name, Mike's home life, but Eddie Murphy Jr. and Dustin, we know shit about their lives. We don't really know anything about the douchey friends. Like, everyone in Daredevil, for as unimportant as certain ones of them are, they're all fleshed out to a certain degree. So that's why Daredevil's getting the nod. Stranger Things is up there with... What else was a Netflix show? I don't know. Stranger Things is second. We'll just say it's fucking second. I'll stop rambling. Fuck me. But that's been our review. As always, this is World Class Bullshitters. Tomorrow night is our podcast, so you might want to check that out. Nick, will you be on it?
Yeah, I should be.
All right, cool. Well, I'll tell you more about it off air, because I don't want to give the listeners a hint yet. Hey folks, Jeff of World Class Bullshitters here. Just wanted to let you know about Incarnate Studios. You haven't heard of them? Well, they help sponsor the show and keep us afloat. They make really great t-shirts, like Shitbusters, which is the official protest shirt of the 2016 farce. They also got Donald Trump, Blow Hard, and Hillary Clinton, Blow Hard 2, Blow Harder. Poo and politics not your thing? They got shirts from video games, TV shows, movies, horror, and the best part is, they add new shirts twice a week, so keep checking back to see what's coming next.
IncarnateStudios.com. And don't forget the hyphen.